Hi, this is Kamera again. We're on day number 262, Hosea chapter 1 through 7. So this is a new book we're starting. This is the 28th book that we'll be starting this year. And yeah, so we've seen a lot. We've really seen a lot. This book of Hosea goes back. We've gone through where the children of Israel were in exile and everything, but now it's taking us back to when the kings of Judah, there's like 4 kings of Judah during this time of Hosea, and there's 1 king of Jeroboam. So we see that Judah and Israel is still in place at this point. I mean, the kings of Judah that Hosea would be speaking during the time that he speak, the ones who are in reign are Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah. Those are the kings of Judah. Israel, Jeroboam. Jeroboam was like the worst king of Israel, right? He brought a lot of sin, or introduced the children of Israel to a lot of sin. He did a lot of abominable things. But get this. God tells Hosea to do one of those things that a Christian would not do. I say Christian because back in the day, or even this time right here, when I was a kid, maybe, people look down on people who married prostitutes or someone who's been in the world or what have you. Lots of judgment. That was a lot of judgment, because once you've repented and you've turned from your wicked ways, I don't care what you have done, you are a new vessel, a new creature. But in this day right here, this was a man of God, and God told him to marry a prostitute. He says, go marry a prostitute so that some of her children will be conceived in prostitution. This will illustrate how Israel has acted like a prostitute. Yes, toward him. So toward God. They've turned away from God and started to worship idols. So basically, he's saying that the children of Israel, they were faithful to God. God was basically married to Israel. Israel decided to turn in and start messing around with other gods, idols. And so him and his wife, they have children. Him and his prostitute wife, they have children. The first one he calls Jezreel. And first of all, his wife's name is Gomer. But the first son is Jezreel. And it means he's going to punish Jehu's dynasty in Israel and take away Israel's independence. The second one is a daughter. She's her name is Loruhama, meaning not loved. I will no longer show love to Israel. Son Mima. Hey, you guys read it. And that represent not my people. Israel is not my people. I am not their God. Yeah. So then he talks about a time when Israel and Judah will be unified after their exile, because this is before Babylon come and takes over things, before Assyria come and take over places Israel in exile. This is before that. This message is going out. So he talks about the things that Israel, the sins they were committing. But he does say that there's going to be a time when Judah and Israel come back together and be unified. But this is after the exile. But for now, he tells Israel that he's bringing charges against them. And he says she is no longer my wife. She needs to stop prostituting her, or she will die of thirst in a dry, barren wilderness. These are like these prophecies that God had given them way before the destruction of Israel and Judah. He sent prophets out to tell them. She runs to others and she worship idols. God tells Hosea to go, and he says, love your wife again. He says, even though she has committed adultery with other lovers. And then he says, this will illustrate that the Lord still loves Israel, even though the people have turned to other gods. Isn't that something? And so Hosea goes and purchases his wife. He purchased her 15 pieces of silver, 5 bushels of barley, and a measure of wine. And then he tells her not to sleep with don't have any other lovers, and I'm not going to sleep with you either. This shows Israel will go a long time without a king, without a prince, no sacrifices, no sacred pillars, no priests, and not even any idols. And then afterwards, the people will return and devote themselves to God. So Hosea, this prophet, this man of God, his relationship with his wife is a representative of God's relationship with Israel. The Lord has brought charges against Israel for their unfaithfulness, their unkindness, their no knowledge of God, and they break vows, they kill, they steal, and they commit adultery. And there's violence everywhere. It's so much murder, right? Everyone is wasting away. These people are wasting away. So they're living in Israel, just wasting away, doing whatever they want to do, not even thinking or caring about God. And God says he has a complaint against the priests. He says, my people are being destroyed because they don't know me. The priests are refusing to know me. They've forgotten the laws and the commands and all that stuff. So if the priests aren't teaching, then how are the people supposed to know? If the prophets are lying, all this stuff. But this part got me right here. This got me here. He says, first of all, they exchanged the glory of God for the shame of idols. When the people sin, this is what happens. When the people sin, they bring their sin offerings to the priests. And when they do that, the priests are able to eat. So the priests are glad when the people sin. Oh my God. The people are imitating the priests. He says, so I'm punishing both the priests and the people. They think that these sticks can tell them the future. Isn't that something? Longing after idols, isn't that something? Has made them foolish. They play prostitutes, serving other idols, deserting their God. This is what God is saying about Israel. He says judgment has been handed down against Israel. There's a lot in the word. I'm just taking out the key points, guys, but you need to go back and read this. This is ridiculous what they were doing. He said even these leaders have led the people into a snare. He said, I sent my prophets. He said, I wanted you to show me love. I wanted you to show love, period. I just want you to show love, not offer sacrifices. I want you to know me. But like Adam, you broke my covenant and betrayed my trust. I wanted to heal Israel, but the sin is too great. The people think I don't see their sins. And then he goes through a lot of the sins they committed. I mean, he went through a lot of sins they committed. No one cries out for my help. They don't return to me or even try. They don't even try to seek God. They don't even try to find God. He said, I wanted to redeem them, but they don't cry out to me with a sincere heart. They look everywhere except to the Most High. So what sticks out to me is the fact that God sees when we betray him and put everything before him, that we're committing adultery against him. We're making those things our gods, and we can't make time for him, but we make time for our own pleasures. And the fact that the priests, they were not teaching the people his way, and these people were wasting away. They were imitating. Clearly, I'm thinking if they were offering sin offering, they were doing something. But I'm going to tell you this. God told me when I first started to seek him, and I mean really seek him as an adult, raised Christian. But it's different when you're an adult. You could do what you want to do. When you're a kid, you went to church because mom told you to go to church, sent you to church, or took you to church. As an adult, we do what we want to do. I'm not in mom's house. But when I first started to seek the Lord for myself, because I was curious, is he like really real? And, for my own self, how serious is this, right? One of the first things, so I started reading the word, and I mean diligently reading the word and going to church, listening to testimonies and my faith being built. And then when I started to understand, as I was learning God, he was teaching me on a personal level. One of the things he told me, don't look at other people. Don't be the Christian they are being. You be the Christian I want you to be. So don't look at what they do. Don't look at what they do. You keep your eyes on me. And so that's what people will do. They'll start imitating other Christians instead of being the person who God wants them to be. And that is not what God wants. These people were imitating the priests, and the priests were living a detestable life. They were sinning against God, worshiping idols, and doing terrible things as well. So the people were doing it too. And so, yes, as men and women of God, we need to represent God accordingly. People are watching us, and they need to see God through us. That's the thing. They need to see God through us. And so, yeah, they need to. We need to represent God. These priests that were leading people astray, they weren't even helping God. They could have. They led the people. People clearly sought them for guidance, and the leaders for guidance, and the leaders and the priests were doing abominable things. But keep your eyes on God, guys. Read His word, seek Him for understanding, ask Him to give you knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, just so you'll get to know Him. Get to know Him. He said, "I just want them to know me. Trust me." But just like Adam, they betrayed me. So yeah, guys, Hosea. There we go, guys. Day number 262. Hosea chapter 1 through 7. You have a God-filled blessed day.